Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Guys, checking in on the electric vehicle sector and one win name. All right, so there was some bullish news, or I should say, there was news-driven bullish activity overnight for the gap up. Bears are scouting for that lower high under a potential lower high, I should say, under 607.80. And if you're a bear trying to short this, it's not exactly what you want to see, but then again, there are. Well, let's take a macro look, right? So there are not necessarily a red flag. I mean, yes, potentially you have a reversal candle, but in itself, a reversal candle is not really much to go on, right? You always want to consider the context of the candles, okay? So that being said, from a TD perspective, this is it's a sell signal, but again, the context of it not terribly strong. You can see it fired here, and it was not a terribly strong signal. So again, in and of itself, it's not much, but it's a little cause for concern, just a bit. Okay, so if this were a weekly reversal candle to be concerned with, then we would be worried about the daily trend, which right now is okay. Now, if we dump down tomorrow and break this low of 541.21 to confirm a daily downtrend, okay, now that weekly reversal candle will take a bit more seriously. But even if that's the case, we'll just be looking for a weekly higher low. Anything over 379.11 will be one. Now, zooming into the hourly time frame, because we want to know if the potential of that daily lower high is being set, we just want to check out the hourly time frame, the hourly chart, I should say. I feel like there were some drawings set up. I forget. Let's see. Of course there were drawings, Lamont. What are you saying? All right. So there has the trend is still bullish. There are higher lows and higher highs. Kind of a double top today. Pull back to set another. I mean, we're not confident that this hourly higher low has been set here yet, but so far the bulls are still in control. Now this trend line obviously did. I feel like there was a short trade set up. Oh no. Oh. Okay. All right, so that's not so bad. I believe this was set up. That's not great. I believe this was set up based on this this high here. And so let's just make sure that if you were looking for this short, that you did so in 5-minute overbought conditions, because we're looking for that hourly pivot. I don't think it would have been so there. So this one probably needed some adjustment. Let's check it out. Yeah, you actually never get 5-minute oversold during regular trading hours. So either you wanted to play this one in PM, like over here, like so, or you started scaling in here. So let's see. There, so like something like that. Whoops, let me just kill this. All right, so it was on that candle where it was getting oversold, so you would have been looking like something like that. All right, okay, let me bring back that that short box now. All right, so if you played it exactly how it was laid out last night, you're just putting blind faith in that assessment like 12 hours before or whatever, then you're still in the trade and you're a little concerned, although this does look kind of wedgy. But either way, this is the adjustment that should have been made if you were being patient and waiting to scale in once the 5-minute got overbought. Okay, looking for an hourly pivot. All right, so that being said, what are we looking out for tomorrow? So while the hourly trend is still bullish, there is the potential. Well, let's see. Yeah, so this is not a lot of follow through after bulls got this higher high, and now we have a double top rejection. So the bulls need to show up tomorrow, defend this low, ideally this low. These wicks, they don't. Wait a minute, this one actually has a lot of volume on it. Let me zoom in. Nah, these wicks are nothing. So there's no volume on it, right? So they're not anything. They're not meaningful. They're probably some bug or broker to broker sales or something like that. Anyway, so ideally the bulls will show up tomorrow, defend this low of, I'm gonna call it 582.43, break to higher highs over 598.97 to see some more daily bounce follow through. And if that is the case, then shorts will probably be a lot less inclined. I mean, it's always low. It's always good RR, so you can take the short, but don't be surprised if you get stopped out trying to short a blue sky bull. That being said, SPY is potentially showing some weakness. The market in general is potentially showing some weakness. Looks kind of wedgy. And there was a big dump at the end of the day based on some news, but it's not terribly weak yet. So just some things to look out for. Anyway, so even if the bears are able to defend this high tomorrow of 595.36 and break to lower lows under 582.43, bulls will just be scouting a daily higher low with anything over 541.21 being one. All right, and so if we are looking for that higher low there, just kill this. Oops, kill this trend line. We just want to do our shopping and oversold conditions. Maybe we'll use that 12 VMA, something like that. If the hourly can get extended down into here, we'll be looking for a play like that. It's unlikely that it gets there tomorrow, but that's what we're looking for in the near term. And even bottom fishing these lows, I don't hate that as a shorter term long play tomorrow. So shorts are top fishing all-time high resistance in 5-minute overbought conditions, at least at the bare minimum. And then longs are probably bottom fishing this range here. It's been defended a few times, and if we can get 5-minute extended down there, I would not be surprised by a decent bounce from these levels. Again, with the caveat being 5-minute oversold. All right, so we got these two trades to look out for. And shorts, again, just top fishing. That's not it. That's not it either. All right, NEO. I didn't set anything up. Doesn't seem like me. But maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, that was the yesterday. Huh, guess I didn't plan anything out for NEO today. That's weird. Could have swore I had something set up. No. No. Alright, well. The hourly trend has gone bearish, but the consolidation is still very healthy. You can kind of draw a trend line here and see that it's a, I mean, basically looks like a flag structure, right? But it's not, let's see. Let's draw it like, yeah, it looks more like a, hold on, let me see if it looks better. Not really. Okay, whatever the case may be, regardless of trend lines, it is an hourly trend change to the bears with very little follow through. You can see that we got two breaks down to the downside, and then the bears just couldn't get much going. Like from here, we had that high, we have a higher low, we have a lower high compared to there, we have a lower low, gets no follow through into a bounce, sets the lower high compared to that high, and then breaks to a lower low again, and yet still no follow through. So if the bears are unable to get follow through, then, you know, whether or not it's a flag, this is a good look for bulls. Whenever you get these breaks with no follow through, it typically suggests exhaustion, right? So what are the bulls looking out for? The bulls are trying to change this hourly trend before breaking this low of 38.43. Okay, I think there was some news about China delistings, and then somebody from NIO said, "Oh no, they're compliant." So I don't really read the news and stuff, but by all means, if that's something you're interested in, maybe you'll want to dig in fundamentally. Getting something out of my keyboard there. All right, so trades in the short term. If you're looking long, then it's pretty much the same plays, right? The only difference now is we're in a daily downtrend, you know. So if you're looking long, realize for like hourly higher lows, daily higher lows, whatever, realize that you're currently counter trend. Okay, so it's you'll want to apply some caution. And this kind of has like a head and shoulders look to it, right? It's like a rounded. If we set a lower high under this high here of 57.20, then, you know, we'll be watching out for that potential head and shoulders. Okay, so just realize that right now longs are technically counter trend. The bulls never change the trend. This is a solid bounce, but the bulls never change the trend. All right, anyway, if we are trying to initiate long, if, you know, we're disregarding all that trend business, then not disregarding, but maybe you still feel like, you know, you have a bullish bias, that's fine. So you'd be looking like that, right? Just waiting to get hourly extended into that shelf of support. Something like that, just a rough idea. And if you are looking short, then I would probably be looking to short off of this zone if possible. Ideally, we'll have some kind of symmetry with the left shoulder, right? If we're going to get that head and shoulders, then ideally we'll have some relative symmetry, right? So maybe you'll give it a bit of wiggle room. You can see that it's going to get hourly overbought right around there, given the current price action, I mean. And so shorts can be looking up. Obviously, it would be a big old move up there. So maybe it would take a couple of days to come into fruition. All right. I feel like a quick bounce play is more likely than anything. I feel like it's more likely than the upside, but we'll see. You know, it's just a guess, because I just feel like a fear drop in a downtrend is more likely than like a pretty strong rally into this resistance zone. I feel like if anything, this could take a few days to set up, whereas this could happen like tomorrow. Excuse me. All right, what's happening today? NKLA inside bar today. Neither of these trades are set up, or I mean, neither of these setups played out. Let me clean up this chart a little bit. There's just a lot going on. Looks very busy. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, pretty uneventful day. Just an inside bar. Bulls had control for most of the day. Zooming into, we're just watching this range, the range between like say 26 and 15, right? Just watching this range, chopping about. You can see there was a bunch of activity here. If this is your first time watching these videos, these orange rectangles are marked off because there are a bunch of hourly pivots. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Plays in the short term. If the bulls can get some bounce going, obviously bears will be scouting this daily lower high. Anything under 37.95 will be one. So we have this zone of interest scouted out. I still like these zones, I think. Yes, I still like them. The long one especially. Because it's just closer. And this is not a terribly convincing bounce. It looks kind of, let's see what the 4-hour looks like. Yeah, it's not a terribly convincing bounce. You know, usually when you get these hourly higher lows and higher highs, you just want to see as much follow through as possible. So for example, from here, starting from here, things were starting to get a bit questionable. Let's just say that's the same. Yeah, so I get this. Yeah, I think this is not ideal, honestly. It's very choppy. When you get a bounce, you want an impulsive looking bounce. You want it to be like this, right? This is impulsive. You want to see, you know, a bunch of strong candles in succession. So I don't feel terribly great about the bulls here. I feel like this test of the lower range is likely. Is potential is definitely there. That being said, you know, we're very extended, and they'll likely not get a lot of follow-throughs. It's actually kind of not a bad situation, honestly, because a lot of selling probably took place here. So if you dump down here, I would anticipate, if the hourly gets extended, probably a decent-sized bounce. But if the bulls can show up tomorrow and get some bounce follow-through, they'll have to hold this low here of 1766, break to higher highs over 1905, and ideally break this level at the same time of 1930. To have bears scouting that daily lower high, and we can probably adjust this now to a little bit lower, to wherever the hourly would get overbought. And let's see the daily time frame. Yeah, it's basically now this would be essentially a 12 and 26 EMA play. And there's plenty of price action over here to support it, right? You see that this highest close in this range was right there, and yeah, the shelf is right here, so it's not a bad place. And then we have this pivot here. Yeah, right? So it's not a bad place. All right. This is for a daily lower high. It will, or was that an old trade actually? No, this is a new trade, and I still like this trade as well. So I probably mentioned yesterday it was going to take some time to set up. I feel like I set up another trade too, but I guess not. I do a lot of charting, like, you know, in the morning. I get confused. Charting for members, charting for yourself, charting in your dreams. You know how it is. In the shower, I feel like I get the best ideas. Like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, all right, so WKHS on the daily time frame, we are looking for that daily lower high. Anything under, I guess you could call that one Nah. Anything under 30.02 will be a daily lower high. We're currently testing the 12 and the 26 EMA from the downside. We are also under the pivot for the month. So a bit of a bearish lean, and bears will be top fishing this area, looking for that daily higher low under 30.59. Okay, so I still like this trade. Oh, right, that trend line killed it. All right, so we have this trend line here, and we'll be hourly overbought as we test it. So something like this is not, I think it's a reasonable place to be looking for that daily lower high. Now, if you are looking long, today you're trying to fish this 12 and 26 EMA in 5-minute oversold conditions. So I gave you two opportunities today. I wonder how they played out. Just want to see if this was 5-minute oversold and if that was 5-minute oversold. And I have a feeling that at least this one was. Yeah, so this one was. And this one, not so much. Actually, when it was all the way down here, it was probably oversold. The RSI prints on the close, so when the price was all the way down here at the bottom of this wick, this is actually 27 RSI, so it probably just kissed oversold and then bounced from there. So a solid play. These are, it's the Dan special, the TCG special. And it's just fishing that 12 and 26 EMA with your key time frame being oversold, or reverse so if you were bearish. Okay. And so tomorrow you could be looking for the same play. If the hourly bulls, ideally for the bulls, they will show up and defend this low of 2066, break to higher highs over 2315 to see some more bounce follow through. Have bears looking for that daily lower high. If they are able to break to higher highs tomorrow, then on any consolidation, we can be bottom fishing again off of the 12 and 26 EMA with 5-minute oversold conditions. The dog is crying. She wants to come into the office and work. All right. Wait a second. Yep, that's it. Pretty much looking for that short and daily lower highs on deck. Any bullish plays are really just short term. Just getting loud. You're making a ruckus. All right. Let's see. Shouldn't say my dog. My dog companion, my homie, my four-legged homie. Can you really own an animal? Oh, look at her. Look at her. She doesn't like it either. She doesn't like this this kind of talk, this rhetoric. All right, so NEE. Nonsense. NEE, we're still watching this potential wedge on the hourly time frame shaking out. I've drawn it with extended hours off just because it's a bit cleaner. It looks a little cleaner. So maybe we'll move it now. Well, let's see. That's not so bad, actually. Alrighty, so we're still watching this potential hourly wedge. I believe I mentioned yesterday, we're just looking for plays off of this shelf, and it continues to offer a little bit of support. But as these bounces get smaller and smaller, we're a bit more questionable. The daily chart is still in a downtrend, and even though the bulls continue to play defense, they're really not getting much offense going. So it is cause for concern. We just got that daily bear cross, and we're now currently rejected from the 12 and 26 EMA. Potentially, there is the potential to set a really fast daily lower high there if the bears can come in, set a lower high under 74.80, I should say, and break to lower lows under 73.02. Then they are. Yep. Then that daily lower high will be set, and this shelf of support, this area here of support will be threatened, right? If we break down here, then it's very likely, at least for the middle of the range, to be tested. I would not be surprised by that, by any means. Okay, so caution for NEE bulls, and I think we're looking for what, a monthly? Let's see. That's not a good monthly look. That's a pretty scary monthly look, especially because you just set a quick higher low here, and then ideally you'll see like more upside after that, but it's a concerning upper wick. And the weekly time frame, that's also a bit concerning, but we are still holding the weekly 12 VMA, and on the monthly time frame we're very far, so this is actually a bit of a worry too. So let's see, 67.47 would be right around here. Not a bad place, actually. Could be looking for some potential support. Anyway, so far While these are 4 red candles, typically you see 4 red candles in a row, and you'd expect a lot more range, a lot more work to get put in. But so far, the bulls are just defending this. They're still holding the weekly higher lows too. Technically, it's so far just a double bottom. So this weekly higher low here at 72.50 is a key support level. All right. That does not look good. Anyway, so what are we looking out for potential plays? We can be bottom fishing this wedge line support. It's kind of an aggressive play, but knowing that there's all this chop here, I would be very surprised if price just broke through, like very swiftly. It would need a lot of sustained volume. So as long as we're just kind of chopping about down there, I'm still comfortable looking for this play, playing off of the trend line support here. So just looking for these oversold bounces that could potentially turn into this wedge break, right? And then for shorts, we will just be looking for... At this point now, I feel like we can be fishing this range here. Like off of this last higher low. I mean lower high. We have the 12 and 26 here as well. We wouldn't be overbought until all the way up here. And I don't really love looking for an hourly lower high, just because of this wedge pattern. So I'm probably just going to pump the brakes on NEE, honestly. This is really the only trade that I like. If we can get up here where the shelf is, then we can look for that short. But I don't really like any short-term shorts here. I just like the potential of this long, personally. All right, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.